Today we're going to make faux apothecary labels using distress inks, a blending brush, and some antique Mod Podge. This may be one of the easiest projects I've ever done, but the most fulfilling. So today we're going to make this kind of label to go on apothecary jars. So you could use this for, I did it for an apothecary box. You could do it for Halloween jars, things like that. And it is so easy to do and to make them look really cool and fun. And I'm going to show you how to do that today. So the first thing you want to do is you want to print out your labels on paper. Now these, I'll show you a picture of these. These come already kind of brown, but I didn't want to use the brown ones. I'm going to antique them myself, and I think it makes it look a lot more realistic when you're putting on all the color rather than having to start with a color that's already there. And I tried to do it on regular copy paper at first, but I found that the best one to use is my fancy copy paper, which is 100-pound or 28-pound, 100 brightness hammer mill color copy digital. This is a nicer paper. It just has a better weight, and it printed out the labels much better. I use a laser printer. I think if you were to use a inkjet printer, it might be a little weird because some of the inks in the distressing that we use may rub off as you're doing it, but that's the paper I use. Now it's time to cut out the labels. All right, I love these little Tim Holtz scissors. At first, they freaked me out a little bit because they're very slightly serrated, and it feels a little weird when you're cutting with them because you can feel each of those serrations go, but they make super clean cuts, and it feels like they're just a little bit easier to control as you're going around things. So I'm not going to make you watch me cut up all of these, but I will kind of fast forward and get us to the place where we're on to our next step. All right, while I'm cutting these out, I wanted to let you know where I got these super cool labels from. It's from an Etsy site called Chocolate Rabbit, which is kind of a fun name for an Etsy site. And she had already made these. Now, I'm a graphic artist, so I could have probably figured out how to do it, but they were just a few bucks, and I'm here to tell you that my fun part of this was doing the craft, not doing the graphic design. So I was super excited to find somebody who had made such a neat design. This one is the vampire repellent. There's witches powders and there's moon juice and all kinds of stuff. So that's super fun. And you don't have to be so super precious about cutting perfectly around the edges because you're going to be beating these things up, and vintage labels wouldn't be perfectly cut. They're going to be, you know, a little bit wonky. If you kind of have a thing, you can just, so say I were to, this is going to make some of your hearts stop. Say I were to accidentally cut into there like that. What I would do is I would take and rip the edge off this label like it had gotten hurt in the years and years and years since it was originally put on the bottle, right? Like, there's nothing you can do wrong with these. And then the cool thing about having this as a PDF download is you really don't have to be careful with them, because if you mess one up, which I did sometimes, like when I was trying things out, I messed some of them up. And what you can do is just print off another set, right? You're not using up something that you can't have another crack at, right? All right, I'm just going to cut out one last one, this really cool elixir one, because I love the shape of it. And then we will get to making. Okay, we have all the labels cut out, or some of the labels cut out. Now, I cut out every single one of the labels. I did, and this is fun. So what this is I printed this one out at 75% on the printer. I'll show you the settings for where to do that. It's super easy. When you go into print, you just say print at 75%. And then that way, I didn't have to worry about trying to make smaller ones. Like, so these are bigger bottles, but I had some smaller bottles and I just decreased the size. So that worked out perfectly. So this is the next crazy step that's going to freak out some people. You're going to take your beautiful label and smush it up into a little ball. Now, I've seen some gals that really take and smush them, but I found that it doesn't need to be smushed too much. It can just be a little smushed. So it just depends on how much you want to smush. What's going to happen though is you're going to get those really cool creases and lines in the crumbly bits, right? That's what's really going to sell that these are old vintage labels. If they were perfectly flat, well, let's do one. We'll leave this one and we'll do it the same way, but we won't smush them up, and we'll show how much different it looks. Okay, now the next step is to kind of just put little highlights on the edges of the crumbly bits, and I like this distressed ink mustard seed, and you just come and you go right over the edges of your crumbly bits. And we're going to do 2 of these this way. On the Luna, what I did was on the moon, I went around and did like super big yellow highlights, and then I did used yellow ink, yellow, I'll show you how we did it, but yellow blending brush to make that moon yellow. Okay, so we're gonna come and we're gonna get little bits on our edges. You could use, so say you don't want it to be so much, you could use like antique linen, and that's still gonna, I really liked how that went too. You wanna look like there's some, see, this is where you don't wanna be too special about it, because you want it to look like there's some, you know, like it got spilled on it, right? And it got a little yucky over the years. And if you just go over it, it's gonna catch those wrinkles you made. Like, see how that real nice wrinkles going across the top? So that is antique linen. And then the last one I really liked for it, and these are Tim Holtz distressing pads. The walnut stain is too dark, but the vintage photo is a really good color. Like, I use that for everything for distressing stuff. See how it's just it's gonna make it look like there was a crease forever in there. And that's just so cool. Like, there's a little dark spot on there where you can see. And then if we try to do it on here, like even if we try to catch just the edge of the pad without crinkling it, like if you wanted to try to be really specific about it, I guess you could do it. But you still have to almost crease it to get it to make a line. And that does not look nearly as true to life as just hitting the edge of a crease like that does. So for sure, I would suggest crinkling up your labels. And now this one, this is the thing. So I don't like this one. I would throw this away, and I would go, and if I really wanted that label, I would go back and print another one. Okay, our next step is I am going to take my walnut stain, and now I'm just going to go around the edges. I'm just going to hit it on the edges, and you can't hardly even see it, but it just takes that edge and darkens it up a little bit. Oh, look, this one folded. Oh my gosh, a fold. How lucky was I? But you want to just go around the edge and get a little bit of darkness around the edge there. And this is a great way to put some vintage in your pieces. So we did that. You don't have to hit all the edges. Like, this doesn't have to be perfect. And see, that got a smudge. Yay, a smudge. How cool is a nice smudge you didn't plan on these labels? Sometimes I'm not always this loosey-goosey, but on this, getting some extra texture on here is amazing. All right, now, let's get our Distress ink. We're going to do our vintage photo. Actually, we're going to do our colors first, and then we'll do our vintage photo last. So say we were going to color this. I wanted these labels to be all different colors. So this is actually a really pretty peacock feathers blue. And what you need to do this is you need to have a blending brush, and this is just a little Ranger ink blending brush, and then these little pads. And you may look at this pad and think, oh my gosh, it's so dirty, but the labels are dirty, so it doesn't matter. And then you get this all inked up with the vintage peacock, and you just go around real quick. You don't want it to be perfectly blue, right? That would mess it up. Okay, so that one's blue. Let's make one orange. Now, since I am going from blue to orange, and I'm going to use the orange, yellow, and pink, that blue is pretty strong. I'm going to take this felt pad off, and we're going to use it for the Distress in a minute. But I'm going to grab me a new one. Now, I use these all the time. I reuse them. I use them for acrylic paint. And this one's probably near the end of his life because he has little holes in him. But I throw them in the paintbrush water and just rinse them off. And then you can use them. You can use them over. I wouldn't say you could use them over and over again. They kind of die after a little bit. But they do come back to life when you need them to. So this one, I'm going around the moon. See how I did that on this one? I went around the moon and made that yellow. And then I went back with the blue and went around that. Okay, so let's use a different color. Let's use orange. Oh, I think I'm still doing yellow. So we're doing a whole one in yellow. Okay, yellow, 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 yellow. Okay, so that one's yellow. I like that. Let's do an orange. And there's still going to be some yellow on here, which I think looks amazing. Now we have different layers of color. And if you start off the piece and you kind of roll into it, you won't get like a weird circle somewhere. Every once in a while, if you do this and you set it down there, you're going to get a weird circle. Now on here, you can't really see it, and it might even add a little bit extra layer of fun. But in the real world, if you do that, it can look a little bit weird. And last but not least, let's use some picked raspberry, which is a pretty color, super pretty color. Now this is going to mix with the orange, right? Because I can find a fun edge where there isn't anything on there. Some of the girls have a different blending brush for every one of their colors. I'm not that fancy. That would be awesome. Ranger, if you're listening, I would love to have a ton of blending brushes for all my colors. See how I made a line there? Because I didn't start off the side and come in, but that's okay on this project for sure. And then where I got a lot of orange, maybe I'll come in. But look how neat that orange wound up looking. That's why I'm saying you don't have to clean this off for this project especially. You want it to look a little dirty. And then last but not least, we're going to come in here and we are going to grunge up the edges. And for this, I really do want to start off the side and then come in because I just want it to be dark around the edges. And this is a super fast project. Like, you can't go wrong with this. It won't take me but, you know, to do them all, I would say took less than an hour. And it was amazingly fun to do. Now see with this yellow, that's coming out a little darker, which is fine. But then what I would do is I wouldn't go around the whole thing. because I don't want to turn this dark brown. I still want this to be nice and yellow. And then let's do this. We'll do a little around the edges. Okay, that's good. I love how that did. Oh, and remember where we ripped this? We can get some really good texture by putting this around the edge and really darkening that up and making it look like it fell off a long time ago. And I feel like, there, I needed to fill in a little bit there. So those are the labels all done. Super cute. I think it turned out great. And it hardly took any time. Now, one last thing you can do, going into my stash, and what I did on these to seal them and see how they have kind of little yellow goobies and stuff like that. So you can either use Mod Podge Antique Matte, which is already tinted with Mod Podge, or I may have some Ranger here, medium. Okay, I have some Liquitex. Oh, here. Or you can use like a matte medium like this. This is Liquitex. You can use a matte medium, and you could mix it with some brown acrylic paint or some yellow acrylic paint. And if you do it with this one, it'll have an overall kind of yellowish old ratty tinge, and then just a little darker. You can make it a little darker with some brown paint. That is my super fun project to make vintage labels for apothecary, Halloween, faux old bottles. And here's what it looks like done in the apothecary box. I thought you might like to take a peek and see how it turned out. It was an amazingly fun project, and I've put a ton of my craft supplies in here. Now, I do have a video, I'll put a link to it up here, on how to do the apothecary box itself, but I figured learning how to do the labels would be a neat project to try. Tara Jacobson, Artsy Fartsy Life.